Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the channel. Andy VFR here. How are you all keeping? I'm all loaded up. I'm all rockered up. And I'm on a trip. Not a bimble. If you want to know what I'm doing, where I'm going, then stick around. And I'll tell you after the intro. Hello, Andy VFR here. How you doing? So what am I up to today? I've organised a little trip for me and my mate Richard, because we're going ultimately to watch British superbikes. Yes, I did say British superbikes in Assen, in Holland, or the Netherlands. So it's been at least 6 years since they went to Assen. So this is the first time after COVID, since COVID, or the blip, that they've gone back to Assen. So me and Richard thought it would be very rude not to do it, because we've been a few times. So that's what we're doing. However, Assen's not until this coming Sunday. So I'm on my way down to Folkestone to get Le Shuttle, because I'm taking him into Belgium. So we're going to go to Le Bastogne, and those of you who have watched Band of Brothers will know exactly what that's all about. And then on the Friday, so we're there Wednesday night, Thursday night. Friday we set off and head up north through Belgium into the Netherlands. But we're going via another museum dedicated to the American Armed Forces that were helping to bring the war to the end. At the it's called the December 44 Museum. So we're going there en route up to the Netherlands, to our final destination in the Netherlands at Zwolle. We've got a hotel booked there. And then Sunday we're going up to Assen to watch British superbikes. And then Monday we get the night ferry back from Arnhem Holland, Rotterdam, back to Harwich. But we decided to do the overnighter. And then basically Richard then we get off the ferry in Harwich, he turns left, I go straight on. So I'm really looking forward to this trip. I think Richard is as well, to be fair. I'm not sure if he's been to Belgium. I think we've passed through Belgium. I think we did do a bit of Belgium the last time we were there. But we're actually going into like the heart of Belgium. Dinant is closer to Luxembourg than it is to it's almost bang smack in the middle of Belgium, to be honest. However, we need to get the elephant in the room out of the way. The weather. Checking my weather app, which generally is pretty good, I have to say. Tomorrow the weather's not looking very special at all tomorrow. So hey ho, it'll be the first time that I would have actually properly tested out this rucker gear since I brought it about 3 years ago. So anyway, so yes, that's what we're doing. So yeah, as I said at the beginning, it's me that's organised this trip. So fingers crossed, it all works out all right. It usually does, to be honest. Bigging myself up there a bit, but I don't think I've ever organised a really bad trip. So Richard's shouting at the telly now. Yes, you have. What about when we went to Manicure and we stayed in that hotel with the orange rooms? Well, I was a bit naive around organising trips back then, but I think I've got enough under my belt now that I know what I like, and Richard likes the same thing as me as far as hotels and what have you concerned. So I'm not going to record all this because most of it, well, all of it's going to be motorway, I'm afraid. If I'd got a bit more time, I would have probably gone through the Cotswolds and that way down to pick up the M25, but today it's purely a transit day to get to Folkestone Premier Inn. At a reasonable time. I don't want to be too late. I want to see if I can at least knock a hole in the M25 before it gets too busy. I will probably stop off at Oxford or maybe Beaconsfield, I don't know yet. We'll see. So yeah, my advice to you is, as always, stick around, stay tuned. And enjoy the ride. So I'll sign off for now. I'll catch up with you later when I've either either stopped or when I get to Folkestone Premier Inn. Thank you for watching so far. TTFN. Bonjour, mon ami. Bienvenue la France. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about. Good morning, my friends. Welcome to France. That's a very miserably wetty sort of France at the moment. After I had a fairly dry ride up to, or down to, where did I stay last night? Folkestone, Premier Inn Folkestone. As I say, I didn't video any of that bit because it was all motorway. So yeah, so we're now we've disembarked from Le Château, and we're now heading northwards at the moment on the A16, I think. Yeah, on our way to Belgium. But first of all, it's 9:20 local time. We've just got to get ourselves to Ypres, where hopefully we can catch some breakfast of some sort. Just a café au croissant. But anyway, maybe something a little bit more substantial if we can find it. So yeah, so today's mainly transit day to get into Belgium and Dinant. So most of it will be motorway. So I'm not going to bore you with the complete ride up through France and Belgium, but I'll obviously come back to you if there's anything worth talking about or looking at en route. As you can see, it's a bit of a cloudy, dampish, mildly moist, mildly moist morning. So I woke up to it this morning. Anyway, I'll get back to you, and I'll see you in a bit. Howler fish. That just tickled me. Sorry, I'll come back to you. That lorry I've just passed. Any of you who are fans of the Far Show, comedy sketch show that was around, in the 90s, will remember Channel 9. Buenos Dente. And the weather girl, who was the late Caroline Ahern, her name on that particular thing was Paula Fish. Yeah, her catchphrase was Scotcha. So yeah, that's 2 lorries I've seen on this section of motorway with Paula Fish on it. So I just thought I'd come back to you and bore you with that little bit of nugget of useless information. And what a nugget it was. Anyway, speak to you in a bit. Well, welcome back. We're just coming into the outskirts of Ypres now. For our first stop off for coffee or whatever we're going to get here. Hopefully, if the restaurant I went to last year is still open, that might be an option. But it depends on what Mr. Slater wants to do. Of course, sorry. What I haven't done is, I don't know whether you can see him behind me, but I've got Monsieur Slater with me on this trip. On his brand new tractor, his GSA 1300. Chilly on the motorway, so I've had to put the old ET grips on. I mean, what's that about? I mean, I know it's September, but cool one. So where am I going? Do I go left? Around here. Around here, then left, yes. Now we're on the old parve. I've got to watch, got to pay attention here. Because this old parve, although it's not too bad, but it can get a bit damp. And then they can be a little bit slippery, but they're not too bad. Yeah, we're back here again. Back in Ypres. And it's not raining. It's not raining, no rain. Oh, you do that. Huh? You're going to get your disc lock out? Never again. Anyway, I'll speak to you in a bit. Right, welcome back. So we've just had a bit of brunch, full English breakfast in fact, in Ypres, and very nice it was too. So we're going to start making our way to Dinant now, so we'll probably stop off somewhere. Well, I need to get some fuel at some point, so I'll most of this rest of this journey now is sticking to motorways and main roads, because we've got to go around Tournai and Mons. And then, if I remember rightly from last year when I was on this route, when we get past Mons we start picking up a few more interesting roads, which Belgium is sort of famous for. So I just need to sit back. I think Richard is behind me somewhere. I think he got caught at a set of traffic lights or two, but and then got stuck behind a couple of big lorries, which that's the unfortunate bit about travelling during the weekday. A bit like the UK in some respect, that you've got a lot of lorries on the main roads, motorways and what have you. So sticking to the main roads for the majority of it, we can overtaking can be done. What I'll do is I'll say it's all motorway again. I don't intend on recording motorway riding. It's bad enough when you've got to do it yourself. Certainly people on my channel don't want to see me riding down a motorway, so I'll come back to you hopefully when the roads get a little bit more interesting. I'll leave you with a view of these big old wind turbines. And I'll catch up with you later. Speak to you in a bit. Or is that it? Bike parking here. You've got a locker. Ooh.